Gemini family, hello and welcome to your December 2024 tarot forecast. I'm Ms. Eden and Gemini fam, so happy you're here. Welcome. This is going to be a general reading for Gemini sun, moon, and rising signs. Y'all don't sweat it either if you don't catch this video right after I release it. Know that there's a time and a place for you to receive this message, all right, Gemini? Trust in the divine timing of things. And so when you feel that urge or tingle to click and watch or listen, that's the right time for you to receive this message. And I do really hope that there'll be something in this message for my beautiful Gemini family. Gemini, this is a collective reading for the Gemini collective. Again, so remember that not every single thing is going to hit for every single one of my Geminis, but take what does hit, what is meaningful for you, and then leave the rest for others. All right, beautiful Gemini. I have also, will take a moment to plug my Instagram. That's really the only social media platform other than YouTube that I mess around with. So if y'all are interested in continuing to grow the family and support my work and you're enjoying my videos and all that, then you can head on over to my Instagram. That link is in my bio, y'all, and check me out over there as well. I mentioned that also, not just to obviously plug my Instagram, but because I've recently opened up for taking tarot bookings. So would you like a tarot reading one-on-one with me? I'm now available to do bookings for tarot readings. Yay, I'm very excited. So I just launched this in November. And I'm very excited to work one-on-one with y'all. But the way that you can book a tarot reading with me if you're interested, or you can also like gift one to someone if you know someone very spiritual that would be interested or enjoy one. You can head on over to my Instagram. So right now, this is the way to do it. Head on over to my Instagram. Again, that link is in my bio, and send me a DM on Instagram and we'll go ahead and get an appointment set up for you. All right, fam? So I'm really excited about these next steps, but I am keeping it a little simple. I know it's going through DMs right now, but let's see what the response is. If y'all are really interested and we get a lot of bookings going, then, you know, websites next. Always thinking bigger and better, but let's start small, step by step. So family, while I'm there, I just want to also take a moment of gratitude and thanks to thank y'all for all your support, all your comments, your likes, your subscriptions, your shares, all the love. It really makes my heart just explode with happiness, and I want to send it right back at you tenfold, love and light. So thank y'all. Thank you for all your support. And again, I really love hearing from you guys, you gals, y'alls, and what's going on in your life, how these readings and bigger energies are affecting you. So keep the comments coming. And again, the best way that you can support my work, and if you're really enjoying these videos and my channel, is to interact with these videos. It's the best way, the easiest way, and the cheapest because it's free. So definitely hit that like button, y'all, if you're enjoying what you see here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe and share these messages with others who you might think would enjoy, you know, and are into tarot and astrology, all that fun. I really love this stuff, fun stuff, I call it. But very meaningful. I don't mean to trivialize it. Fun, and deep, but meaningful as well. So we're going to do a little something different today, Gemini family, in the effort to keep things a bit shorter on the video frame, because I'm still messing around with the format of how I want these. And I think I'm starting to like figure out, yeah, like this feels good. I'm going to exclude the astrology update in the tarot reading for the month, and I'm going to make a separate video for that for all signs and, you know, anyone to check out. So be on the lookout for that towards the beginning of the month of December on my YouTube channel, that deep dive into the astrology of the month of December. So today for our Gemini tarot spread, we're going to do an oracle card first to set the theme and the vibe, and then we're going to get into the tarot. Okay, Gemini? So the oracle deck that I am using is the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck. I really love this deck. It's very meaningful for me. It does a great job at kind of painting a bigger picture. Love the art, love the messages. But it's a great kind of setting the theme, setting the tone deck. And I know we all have, for those of you who work with oracle decks, tarot decks, special decks that speak to you for special reasons. So this one, as I've just worked with it more, I've really just found that I've connected with. So for the theme, when I was checking in for my beautiful Gemini this month. The theme for your tarot reading and for the month of December was the Watchers, card number 60, which is transpersonal. This card I'm not too familiar with, so I'm excited to deep dive a little bit into this with my Virgo fam. I'm sorry, I might keep saying Virgo. It's in my mind, so that's might be the first time it came out of my mind and out of my mouth. But sorry about that, Gemini, my Geminis. So again, the number 6 or 60 might be significant for you this month in December. Number signs are a great way that Spirit likes to talk with us. So let's read a little bit more about this theme of the Watchers, this transpersonal theme for Gemini this month. Virgo, I'm sorry. I wonder what the Virgo vibe is. Maybe that'll become clearer later in the reading. All right, so the Watchers, serendipity, the observer, witness, and transpersonal. When Watchers appear, it is an invitation to stop doing. Pause, get off the treadmill, and take a deep breath. Find the witness within, the one who can observe the fire and fury happening around you, but is not caught in any of the drama. The time is right to step back. If you have a thought or opinion, keep it to yourself. If you have a feeling that needs to be expressed, do it in the shower. Do not engage in the action happening around you. Simply observe. Watchers shows up to direct your attention to the horizon and away from the anthill in front of you. Others might think you are simply doing nothing, but let them know that you are helping the sun to set in the evening sky. There are bigger things to attend to. You have spent such a long time, Gemini, trying to correct the course of events and the actions of others. Let it be for a short while as you become the observer rather than the doer. The Watchers invite you to break free from the linear, casual pace of the petty day-to-day. Rise to divine coincidence, to serendipity, and notice how the act of seeing the heart of a matter produces results. Things happen without you doing anything. Creation unfolds in its own mysterious way, requiring only a sacred witness. Ooh. That message hits really deep. I mean, I want to hear from my Gemini. How's that hitting for y'all? But it's interesting how things align, because there has been this theme this morning just for me as I've been puttering around and having my coffee, doing a little bit of cleaning. As I've been listening to some more metaphysical, spiritual videos, actually, Heather Ensworth, specifically, her YouTube channel is really fascinating. She has great conversations. And she had just released a video here towards the end of November that dealt with our shift away from being the observer once we started writing things down and like being the documenter, and how that really shifted our connection to everything around us. That's like that universal spirit when we stopped being the observer. So that's really interesting that this has come up for my Geminis in the theme of this reading. I definitely see it here played out in your spread this month, Gemini. So let's get into it. Let me know in the comments how that theme speaks to my Gemini family, because here you are coming into the month as the Princess of Cups. Now I'm using a different deck and the court cards are a little bit different. So this is equivalent to the Page of Cups in the traditional Rider-Waite tarot. But your whole vibe coming into December is all about heart-centered emotions. This could also mean and have to deal with children. Maybe you're an educator, maybe you work with children, maybe this has to do with your children. This is a very much a childlike energy, a joyful leaning into having fun and just playing. It can also be a cautionary thing for my Gemini if we might be overindulging since it is the holiday season. Be mindful of the overindulging. Don't just be overly frivolous and thoughtless with it, like thinking that there are no consequences. For those who are watching, because these videos aren't meant for kids, you are an adult now. There's a different way of operating that you have to step up to a different level of responsibility, but that doesn't mean that you have to lose your childlike wonder for life. So just again, be mindful of don't give in to the vices and too much indulgence where it's dragging you down, creating conflict, or push avoidance, right? It's like avoidance tactics, because cups have to do with our emotions and how we feel, our heart-centered things in our life. But this is kind of a call for my Gemini this month in the holiday season. I know many of us are busy this time of year for different reasons, but family can be a big part of it, or being with people that we associate with family. It doesn't have to be blood family. This could be chosen family. But having fun, leaning into the fun, playful activities of the month and the energy, because the energy surrounding you is this Queen of Cups. And this is where all about heart centered, but you're focusing on your own emotional cup. And I think that's leading a lot of my Gemini to these places of like, yeah, I can play and have joy now because that's what would fill my cup. So this is very much about being protective of your emotional self, your emotional body, making sure that your emotional needs are met first before dealing with others and taking care of others. And that's wonderful, Gemini. That means boundaries have been drawn. You know your limits. And you know also, and you are defining, again, through play, through fun, through heart-centered activity, what's important to you in your life, what you want to see more of. So love that. Again, use that energy in the positive expression of these two court cards in the cups suit, because you have a lot of opportunity to dive deep into like your emotional well and figure out what really fills your cup and makes you happy, what brings you joy, what makes you feel lighter and take some of that emotional weight and burden off. Because at the base of your reading is this Eight of Swords for just trapping ourselves in our own heads. Interference. It's a lot of the time inflicted self-interference. We're doing it to ourselves. We're taking on all the problems and all the things and then thinking there's no way out, or we have to deal with every single thing now, but it's stressing you out. That's been kind of the root of the energy. And so you've just paused and kind of been like, well, fuck it. I'm just, you know what? It's too much. I'm just going to have fun. I'm going to turn my focus inward on filling my own cup. So this has been like an interesting shift for a lot of my Geminis. And if you're feeling that, if you haven't quite moved out of this energy space, since this is at the root of the month for my Geminis, the opportunity is there for you to have more fun and play and release yourself from this mental prison, because you have the power to step out of this at any moment, Gemini. It's just you holding yourself there. And I know we have Mercury retrograde, and Mercury is your governing planet, and we have that through mid-December. So yeah, I feel you on that. Like even today filming this video, I have been so mind kerfluffled. Like the amount of times that I've had to walk back and forth because I forget to do something, forget to grab something, forget to, you know, something like that. It's maddening today, but you know, I'm like, well, at least I'm not having any tech issues with this Mercury retrograde filming my videos, knock on wood, as I film this. Hopefully there'll be no issues, Gemini. But right, like, let me release that stress. Like, yeah, that sucked, what happened, or what was, you know, all the back and forthing, but there's other things that are happening that are good, you know? Yeah. And so in the past, you again are focused, you recognize that shift away from your mental prison, and you're searching for the truth. This is adjustment. This is justice in the traditional deck. The card of Libra, truth-seeking, balance, restoring balance through gaining more truth. So a lot of my Geminis have been in a pursuit of knowledge. It's been very much mental, but also heart-centered, learning new things, learning new truths, because this is in the past position. So coming into December, it's just like those new truths have been able to release you from that mental prison that you've been in. Gemini, air sign, all about ideas, mental activity, right? And you are now just like playing, having fun, releasing yourself from the pressures of having to do, right? And you are just observing, just like your theme said, putting away the to-do list, yes. And crowning your reading is the Death card, the card of Scorpio, of transformation. Not a literal death, okay? That's not rarely ever what this card means. But this is about the shedding of something old, leaving an old system behind, literally like a phoenix transformation. But remember that a phoenix has to burn itself down completely. So that's what I mean is like at the base, this is what you're burning down to the foundation so that you can step forward more heart-centric, more in balance. That's what you've been doing the work on already, Gemini. So that's why this transformation is coming for you. But it is not not fun. Transformations, again, the butterfly, I've heard this so many times, and I feel like it's come up a lot for all of us. So maybe butterfly really wants us to know this knowledge, that caterpillar has to dissolve into goo before it transforms to the butterfly. That's the death card. It's a completely, you are shifting into a completely new reality of operating, one that's very much more focused on your truth pertaining to what your heart needs, what your spirit needs, and bringing balance where there's been imbalance between mind, body, and heart. And you're just stepping forward saying, no more. Like, the rebalancing has been, you're seeing the effects of that in the shutting away of old things, old patterns, old habits, old karmic baggage, old situations and people, old jobs. I mean, this could be anything in your life that it's like a drastic change and a leaving behind. It's not really sudden, like the Tower card, the Death card. This is more just like deep transformation. The ability to really dive deep so that you can work through something, release it, and create space for the new. And what's coming up for you, the space that you're creating, is the space to Four of Cups. Pause, come back to self, have space for yourself uninterrupted and unencumbered by other people's opinions and interference from the static and the chatter of the outside world. So this is about figuring out, again, what fills your emotional cup. That's the big search and quest for my Geminis in December. As you wrap up the year, you're like, the old stuff doesn't really work anymore. I'm striving for the new. And you know what? I think I've found my truth and my balance in that I need to lean in and have a little bit more fun and play and bring joy into my life. Because why else do I want to be living for just stress and struggle and grinding and pain and negativity? No, like there has to be some light to the dark, right? So you're shifting all of that. And this is very much about having the luxury of time and space to suss out what you want, what fills your heart. Spirit is there and can offer messages for you. This is very much about like bringing quiet and stillness and tapping in with your higher self and listening, because it'll guide you, Gemini. It'll tell you exactly when the time is right, what direction you want, would be best for you to align with. Again, it very much depends on your intentions, but you are shifting away from burdensome, heavy mental prison kind of activity, like truths that have been too burdensome, or maybe other people's truths that you've been holding on to that you're now realizing that's not my responsibility to hold on to for them anymore. I only need to hold on to my own truth, my own knowledge, my own lessons. And so you're releasing that. And again, with that is just, you need quiet space. This retrograde cycle is a perfect time to just find stillness, be in nature, have that sacred stillness, meditate, whatever way that means for you. That doesn't always mean cross-legged, closed-eyed, chanting. Like that's not, like, what does meditation mean for you? It just means to bring quiet and stillness and peace into your life. And that could be music, that could be nature, that could be exercise, that could be creativity and art. It could be so many things. It could be just sitting quietly, staring at a wall blankly, and letting your mind just not even letting, drift off. Whatever you need. Because you don't need a rush. You know that this decision doesn't require rushing. And at the moment, you are at a place of deep emotional fulfillment. This is you presently, Gemini, no matter when you're catching this. 9 of Cups. You have a lot of emotional fulfillment and happiness that you know is around you right now, that you need to be grateful for, and that you need to keep seeding more of that in your life, which is, again, why this shift, this death card, this transformation process, as you've learned these truths about you, about people around you, about the greater, society, like bigger truths, individual truths. I mean, that's what that Justice card means. So here you are, just like you've sought your truth, you've done your work, and a lot of y'all are experiencing a lot of emotional fulfillment, a lot of like emotional stability. And again, that when you are at that level, that's where you can play and have fun, because you don't feel the anxiety that like the floor is going to drop out, from you. Now, Gemini, I do have to say some caution. Now, this could play out a couple of ways, but we have the Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords coming up for my Gemini, and how other people are seeing you, but like how, the relations with other people. And this could be a very shrewd, intense, feminine air sign, older, feminine air sign energy. So that's going to be my Gemini, my Libra, my Aquarius, could be for coming into play for my Gemini this month. Maybe you're having some sort of connection with these people, but it might be a little bit bumpy because, again, it's kind of like that Justice card. She's only concerned about the truth. She doesn't want to get muddled up in your emotional affairs. But I sense that there's a bit of a shrewdness, like a kind of cruelness. This isn't coming through as like maybe the positive expression of this card, which is very much truth seeking, and like the words are the power there, to discern the truth of a matter. Like, come talk to me, right? Like, it's not the sword that's the threat. It's let's talk. This is a little bit, for me, I'm feeling like a little bit of a heads up, a warning, maybe even a test from the universe. Like, you're going to be presented with this energy of very shrewd, maybe even cruel, disconnected from your heart, like the heart center type of person or energy. And again, it could be like an older feminine air sign coming into play. But it could even be you, Gemini. This could be the energy that you're expressing. So make sure as you're moving through and focusing on your own emotional cup that you're not really detaching, like you're focusing so much on your own needs that ego self is coming in, that kind of negative lower vibration, and causing you to really, in the disconnecting from others, be a little cruel towards others. Also be mindful of that energy coming at you from someone else, and just meet it with, don't meet it with aggression. Meet it with truth. Meet it with love. And if that's the way that this energy wants to be, that meets you, like, let it be. But you don't need to take, you're transforming. You're not trying to hold on to just that mental load anymore. Truth seeking, yes, but you're trying to be more heart centered. So just a little bit of a heads up for my Gemini. But your hopes and fears are that you have a decision. You have two things kind of that you're focusing on this month, Gemini. This is something that's affecting your stability. Two things, yin yang, infinity symbol, Two of Pentacles. So it is about your resources, your stability in the material world. Could be your money, your job, but could, also be beyond just money. Could be other things pertaining to your stability, like your home life, or, you know what this means for you. But this is all about change, and you're not sure, again, if that change is scary. And there's a fear there that, like, is it going to go light, or is it going to go dark? Well, that depends on your intention and the vibration you're putting out, Gemini. And you have a lot of heart-centered good vibrations that, again, you've done the work. Remember where you came into this reading with the Page of Cups and the Queen of Cups. You've done the work. You have the opportunity to figure out what fills your own emotional cup. So trust that you will have the knowledge presented to you, especially if you're worried about that. Like, I'm not going to figure it out. Okay, not going to figure it out. I'm so sorry, Gemini. There was a quick pause. A phone call came on, and then I guess it paused the video recording. So Mercury retrograde, right? I jinxed myself. Hopefully we're doing good. We're picking up. Okay. So this is about not wanting to fall into your fears and hopes. That's what this position of this card is. You don't want to fall into the darkness with the change that's coming, the choices you're making. That's the fear. But you also know there's a big bonus, a big opportunity there for you. There's also a light side. Like, what if the bottom doesn't drop out, right? So lead with your intention that you're doing the work where that bottom isn't going to drop out for you. Okay? Trust that you've got yourself in the past. You can get yourself now. And the universe has got you. This can be about, again, choices that you have to make concerning two things. Kind of juggling between two things. But the thing with this, also with infinity, that I'm realizing is maybe you don't have to choose, Gemini. Maybe you can find a way to make these two things coexist together, this light and dark, these two choices, this yin and yang. marinate on that for a little bit, because the whole vibe is changing with Pluto moving into Aquarius. And your final message for this month is the Wheel of Fortune. Your fortune is changing too, very much tied into the karmic work that my Gemini family has been doing. So I'm proud of y'all. So the bigger universal energies are telling us right now is a slow down time, rest with this retrograde cycle, RE prefix, anything rest, retrograde, review, receive. That's the name of the game. But you're going to know if you trust yourself, and again, you slow it down and you bring yourself stillness to listen, you're going to know when to move forward. And you don't have to worry about the bottom dropping out, because I think, Gemini, what the universe is telling you is if you give yourself the space to really think and create with it, all right, because we got Uranus in Gemini right now, I believe. So it's like kind of breaking shit down, and you're going to be thinking in all new ways with Pluto and Aquarius. How can you maybe have both of these things that you're currently thinking you have to juggle, one or the other? Because your fortune is changing for the better, Gemini. All right? So make sure you seed it with those positive intentions and leave the baggage behind. Allow yourself to transform, and that transformation can come through stillness. Remember, it comes through observation, not necessarily doing, which is funny because we think we have to do so much to transform. A lot of it is bringing in stillness, and then the aha moments come in naturally. The transformation comes whether we like it or not when we bring and allow stillness. So sending my Gemini so much love for the month of December. Bye, y'all.